Lyriana, I once had a relationship that I never truly wanted to be in. I never wanted to date that man. Not really. But at some point, out of pity, I agreed to go on a date. I thought it wouldn't hurt me to spend an afternoon with him. I simply didn't want to hurt anyone else. He was the complete opposite of my type. But of course, I couldn't say that directly. That would have felt disrespectful. He didn't take no for an answer. And at that time, I was too distracted by other things in my life to pay attention to how easily one can slip into something they never intended. I didn't yet know that there are people one must be mindful around. To make things more complicated, this person was clearly socially disadvantaged and also struggling psychologically. I don't want to go into detail about that, but it made everything harder. I was raised to help others, to be understanding, to never turn anyone away. But no one ever taught me that helping isn't always truly helping, that it's allowed to keep distance, that it's right to respect and care for yourself first. So from the very beginning, the entire relationship was built on a strange pattern. He felt sorry for himself and wanted to be with me desperately, and I kept trying for a long time to gently explain that it could never work, because I simply didn't feel love or closeness the way I imagined it should be. Eventually, I realized I couldn't take it anymore. He wouldn't understand, so I decided to change the pattern to show him that he didn't actually love me. One day I asked him, "What is it that you love about me?" He said, "I don't know." So I asked, "Do you at least find me attractive?" And he said no. In that moment, I thought, if that's truly how he sees me, then I can't possibly hurt him. But by then, I had already gotten used to the imbalance. It hurt my ego, and suddenly something like a hunting instinct awoke in me. I wanted to regain control, to restore the balance. Even though everything made sense rationally, emotionally, I was still trapped. When I finally managed to return things to how they were before, I ended it. Looking back, maybe there was some revenge in it. Or maybe it was just my way of taking back what I had lost in myself. Because when someone who refused to let go of you from the start ends up saying they don't love you and that they don't even find you attractive, that's disrespectful. And honestly, quite low. My dear soul, you have recognized a pattern that many carry within themselves without ever fully understanding it. The silent sacrifice born out of compassion. It is compassion that forgets itself. You were raised to help others, and that is a great gift. Yet in your case, this gift turned against you because it was not accompanied by self-respect. You didn't want to hurt anyone, so you took the pain upon yourself. I speak here from the perspective of the soul, not as a professional or expert. What I now describe comes from the collective knowledge that many wise people in psychology and the healing sciences have explored and shared. It is not my own expertise, but a reflection of what humanity has come to understand through many voices. From a psychological perspective, or so the trained ones say, your experience might resemble what is known as the rescuer or helper syndrome, the unconscious urge to ease the suffering of others in order to justify one's own existence. But love born out of pity can never become true love. It turns into duty, and duty is not tenderness. Those who study attachment psychology might say that you learn to give closeness without ever receiving it, because somewhere along the way you were taught that your love had to earn its worth. But love does not have to earn anything. It is meant simply to be. Deep within, when you asked him, "What do you love about me?" you weren't really asking him. You were asking yourself whether you were lovable without doing anything. Without giving, without rescuing, without proving. And when no answer came, you began to see yourself more clearly. From a symbolic seer's point of view, I sense that this relationship was not a failure, but a lesson, a moment of awakening for your soul. He taught you where your boundaries are. You taught yourself that help without respect carries no light. And you learned that compassion only heals when it also includes you. So forgive yourself for ever thinking that love must mean sacrifice. True love is not pity. It is harmony. It is born where two people respect each other without losing themselves. This is not a psychological verdict, but a message of the soul. You are growing, and that is enough.